Alright, everyone. So, today we're going to be doing something a little out of the ordinary. We're going to be looking at food. Now, this is no surprise for someone like me because I am a fat dude. But I don't really talk about food that much. I like watching cooking shows sometimes. It really depends on the host. But today we're going to be looking at some high quality, high class eateries. We're making some comparisons, saying which one's better at what, and which one ultimately to go to. I mean, yeah, I have a bias, but I'll try to do this as objectively as possible. Just like many other things in life, I try to do objectively as possible. So without further ado, we go. And these pictures are not representative of what the either places sell, but it's pretty symbolic, I guess. So here we go. Subway versus Quiznos. Now, obviously, Quiznos is much better at hot sandwiches, and Subway's a lot better at cold sandwiches. Now, unfortunately, a lot of Subway's vegetables and their fruits, such as their tomatoes, just suck. I don't know why. Subway has such bad tomatoes. For Quiznos, well, that stuff's shoved into an oven anyway, so you'll probably not even be able to taste it all that much. I mean, cooked fruit and vegetables taste less diverse than raw fruit and vegetables. Now, oddly enough, I have a I have a huge bias towards Subway, even though Quiznos is literally right. I mean, it's just across the way in a shopping center, and it's been there for like decades. But I still have never gone to a Quiznos. That's the odd thing. I've never gone to a Quiznos. I've only eaten it once when someone brought it back. I don't even know how it smells like in there. Now, the smell of a Subway easily might beat out the smell of the Quiznos. Because I can just make assumptions. That just smells like hot bread and hot cold cuts. So yeah, overall, I think Subway beats out. Although I've heard that Subway's having some trouble, especially with the quality of their food. Now, Burger King versus McDonald's. Burger King lacks in variety. The one time they tried to copy the Big Mac by making the Big King was horrible. Now, McDonald's is something that's like very reliable, but at the same time, they have all this variety, but all their burgers taste literally exactly the same. Like, how does I mean, I guess they're filet-o-fish, and I consider that filet-o-fish the answer to Burger King's chicken sandwich. And I very much like both, but I'd still rather get beef, even though fish is my favorite meat. But I think what ultimately wins out over McDonald's, how Burger King wins out over McDonald's, is just the quality of the burger, and then the quality of the the thickness of the fries at least. Like Burger King burgers actually taste like burgers, not meat in bread. Wait, is that what a burger is? Moving on. Oh, don't bring the toy argument because it doesn't win in that either. Anyways, let's move on. Where are we? Jack in the Box versus Carl's Jr. Now I picked this picture to represent that because this is, if you want a summary of Jack in the Box's entire menu, this is it. This is their entire history of burgers. I mean Carl's Jr. Shit, not Jack in the Box. This is representative of Carl's Jr.'s entire menu when it comes to burgers over the course of their existence. All their burgers look exactly the same. And I'm willing to bet for a penny that all their new burgers are literally just rearrangements of their old burgers. It's always got this barbecue sauce, just flooded in barbecue sauce. You know, and then layered with bacon, layered with onion rings. It's always like that. They got some stupid A1 steak sauce. I don't know. Some part of it is also like, well, the barbecue sauce that might be made from Jack Daniel's whiskey. Now, as for Jack in the Box, I gotta admit, I mean, I do prefer Jack in the Box's burgers, but they're not that much better. They seem healthier. I will say that they seem healthier, but overall they're nowhere near as good. So, Jack in the Box definitely excels in other areas. Like they had this one Southwestern bowl. It had rice in it. It was like mock Mexican food, Tex-Mex. That was really good, and then they stopped fucking serving it. So, oh well for that. But yeah, here's what I would say: if you don't care about, if you want to die in 2 years, go to Carl's Jr. But if you want something from a burger place that isn't a burger, yeah, you go to Jack in the Box. They, that's kind of funny. That's like, do they consider themselves a jack of all trades because they got a lot of variety? But it's really funny how through and through they're a burger place, but they suck at burgers. Uh, I will say their breakfast. Sometimes I like their breakfasts more than McDonald's breakfasts. But the one that I usually get is already discontinued anyway. So let's move on to where are we going down a Tex-Mex route? Let's go full Mexican. Taco Bell versus Royal Loco. All right. Now, it's a weird dichotomy. By all measurements, Taco Bell is objectively worse in almost every way than that Chicken Crazy. Because Chicken Crazy uses well, they lead you to believe that they use fresher ingredients much more than any other restaurant and any other fast food chain in existence. The chicken is certainly cooked a lot healthier. It's not expensive at all, especially in comparison to other chicken places. And it's just I have a lot of respect for Pollo Loco. And you go to Taco Bell, all right, and they have this weird sauce that they put with their ground beef, and then all their stuff. It seems like it would kill you, like it's slowly poisoning you. Yet and then it's like they're so unhealthy in every way. Like they freaking advertise Mountain Dew up the wazoo. Mountain Dew, the worst soda you could possibly drink for your body, next to Hawaiian Punch. But it's so addictive. Taco Bell is so addictive in comparison. Their hot sauces are all home runs. Pollo Loco only has one good hot sauce, and that's chicken's beak salsa. So it's a really weird dichotomy. Go to Empo Loco if you want to eat good food and feel good about yourself. Go to Taco Bell if you want to eat good tasting food and then regret it afterwards. I mean, it's so weird. How can they both kind of this kind of wins over that, but at the same time they're kind of equal to me. I think this is a case where cheating tactics actually end up working for you. Not grifting tactics, because they did their research supposedly back then. Like the actual creator, visited Mexico before he made the restaurant to make it as authentic as possible. It's just so weird. I like them both equally. Moving on. We have one more place after this. Popeyes versus KFC. All right. I massively prefer Popeyes in terms of their chicken. Well, in terms of the strips, they don't do bone-in chicken as well as KFC does. And KFC has a lot in the way of, like, their other stuff. Their, like, sides is okay, their mashed potatoes are much better than Popeyes because they don't put these weird ground beef chunks in it. Alright? Um, what else? But, Popeyes macaroni is much better than KFC's because it doesn't taste oily. Nowhere near as oily. KFC's biscuits versus Popeyes biscuits. That's a hard one because Popeyes has a sort of salty butter taste in their a salty butteriness in their biscuits, and KFC has a more of a dry kind of biscuit. Now I haven't. I'm a creature of habit. I'm saying this because I basically always get the same thing at Popeyes. Strips, and then as I was saying. Lost my train of thought. Let's move on. Shoot, doesn't let me scroll down anymore. Let's go down. Alright, now we go Eastern. Well, debatably Eastern. This one's kind of hard and kind of easy at the same time, too. Alright. Now, the thing with Panda Express is that it makes you gassy. Really gassy. But their food tastes better. Or at least their rice does. Yoshinoya's beef surpasses. Their beef and their vegetables surpass Panda Express's a lot of their items, but their rice makes you sick. Yoshinoya's rice makes me gives me a headache, makes me nauseous, makes me want to die. But it doesn't give you those. It doesn't make you gassy or give you stomach problems in the bathroom. It's really hard to tell. If Yoshinoya just offered a menu item which was pure beef and vegetables, you don't have to tell them to not put rice. I mean, speaking of which, how does Yoshinoya even make their beef? Like, what cut of beef do they even use? Kind of worries me sometimes. But anyways, I hope you found this informative. These high-class restaurants. And maybe debate with yourself which places you like. Alright, good night.